Yeah, what's poppin', movie fans? I'm back and I'm here to talk about Superman. Brr, 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 brr. Don't forget me your thoughts in the comments. Like this post, share it with your baby mama, baby head ass cousin. Y'all can never figure out a movie to watch. Let me help you pick. I had to come back just talk more about how much I love this superhero film, man. Because honestly, yo, if you're a DC fan, you know we have not had something like this. And I also want to get more into the side characters this time. Notice in the review so far that a lot of reviews when it comes to Lex Luthor is a little divisive. I see a lot of you guys feel like he did get enough time. I feel like that's crazy. I feel like this man is definitely on the screen loads and loads of time for you to understand who he is. That off rip I don't agree with. But I see some other character things where I could see where if you're torn if you like him or not, especially if these are your only Lex Luthors to go off of. And I feel like we got more away from this Lex Luthor. This is the BVS Lex Luthor, and I feel like he's honestly still the worst Lex Luthor ever to touch the earth. But I feel like in this recent Lex Luthor, you still get a little bit of shades of him, and a little bit of shades of him, but not enough. I feel like for me personally, I think this is still one of my OG favorite Lex Luthors from Smallville, and I think the only big difference that I haven't gotten out of this Lex Luthor yet is the fact that this guy is really smooth and conniving. And like you want to vote him for mayor. He's so corrupted and trust. Versus my man over here, we can all be honest and agree, like he was being a bitch a couple times in this movie. And logically, like being a bitch, like he was super obsessive. Some of that I liked. And I'm wondering also, is it because of how early he still is? He's grown, but not grown enough like the one in Small. And then I've got to give a shout out to my man Jimmy Olsen. I feel like Jimmy isn't talked about enough in these reviews. Yo, as a kid, Jimmy Olsen to me was so not. He was cool as a kid, but it's not really important to me. Even in the cartoons, he never held my attention. And in this movie, the actor that plays him is so fucking funny. And I feel like he does so much in the film on the low. He brings so much to the table. I feel like in TV shows and a lot of other things, Jimmy Olsen usually is just put to the side. Definitely at BVS, you don't even see a Jimmy Olsen because they definitely shoot him within the first hour, if I'm not mistaken. And I find it hilarious that Jimmy Olsen is low-key pimping Lex Luthor's girlfriend in this film. Like, there's just so many times where he can make you laugh, make you smile, and I can't wait to get more banter with him and Clark. Definitely did not get enough banter with him and Clark. All right, y'all already know I was geeking out over this character here. Metamorph is a super heavy DC character. He took me by surprise. He was given a little Zordon. I like this visual has been like drawn to me since the trailers. I'm not going crazy. If y'all look, the prosthetic makeup is spot on. And I love it. And honestly, I can't wait to see him again in the next iteration of a DC film because he's badass in reality. And y'all just saw him as like a wimpy dad. Not wimpy, but like crying for the most part. And then for obviously one of my favorite side characters is the Justice Gang. You know, let's just call it the Justice League, pre-Justice League. I mean, I love the Green Lantern. I love Hawkgirl. Obviously, Mr. Terrific, he low-key just steals the show. I also love how like they just do a great job of separating themselves from Superman in the sense of heroes, because every hero is low-key different, and Superman is like an angel from above, and Hawkgirl has the craziest scene where she definitely just drops someone while flying in the air. And honestly, this is one of my favorite forms of the Justice League, is Justice League Unlimited, and I feel like, guys, before we know it, this is what this team is definitely going to be. And then obviously there's the big cameo that some of us expected, but not a lot of us. I was digging it. I was a little expected to see Supergirl, and it was really subtle and kind of funny and just really organic. She's really a dope character, like next to Superman, and I just can't wait to see some of the stories they can write about the alien cousin. And I know like another divisive thing about this film is for some people it's a lot at times, but I honestly have to like counteract that with honestly, you got to give a shout out to James Gunn because he did what most directors won't do and was scared to do with Superman, in my opinion. The reason why I couldn't even get into a lot of the past Superman films in recent times was because maybe they were too surface. Maybe they didn't have enough going on because, to be honest, part of his greatness is there's always so much going on and he can usually take care of it. And he's big on family stuff. If you know Guardians of the Galaxy, they're big on families. And I just think he just gave us the first movie where it feels like a DC family. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What was your favorite scene from this film so far? If you saw it,